Hello and welcome to VOD of Consciousness with Sientir. I am Sientir. You can support my patreon.com/Sientir, whatever. We're going to get going. We have a bunch of quests to do in the area. So let's get going. Let's do some quests. What the heck is this? Oh. It's a good thing you've got a job as a merchant because you'd make a terrible tour guide. I'm doing my best to help you find the Ascalon settlement. Sin, we only just arrived in Kryta. Please, don't get us thrown out already. Actually, you know what? Let's do a slightly better screenshot. I'm just saying I could get better directions from an imp. Though I doubt you could get us thrown out of an entire country, I'd prefer you not to try, Sign. I'm sorry for my companion's rudeness, Damaris. Please, continue. Quite all right. You'll find that I'm trying to find like a good screenshot that like lets you see them without being. So she's directing people towards the Ascalonian settlement. Hey, I will take it. I've been trying to tell your friends here how to get to the Ascalon settlement, but the rude woman keeps interrupting me. The settlement is northwest of here. You should be able to follow the signs and get there safely. Perhaps you could lead your friends there, Anna Yggdrasil? I would take you myself, but there are rumors that the Shining Blade has been seen in the area. Lead your friends to the Ascalon settlement? I'm happy to help. Sure. Yeah, let's go ahead and pair this with everything else that I'm trying to do. So the Ascalonian, or the Shining Blade are known as brigands at this point in time. And not at all people you want to hang out with. We will, of course, get the truth later, but we should get going. The sooner we can get to the settlement, the better. I hear Captain Greywind is overseeing things, so we should check in with him when we get there. Lead the way, Anna Yggdrasil, and we'll follow. Cool. That sounds like a plan. Level 16 Devona. You might be wondering why I'm trying to go to the Ascalonian settlement through the swamp. And that's because I feel like going through the swamp and checking to see if I did the quests there, because there's a skill quest from an NPC in the area, and I honestly do not know if I did that or not. And I want to find out. Because chances seem good that I didn't do it, and it's not hard. And I'm here to collect skills, so yeah. Just be up here. Huh. Well, it's not right here. So either I've done it already, which is certainly possible, or that guy just doesn't spawn right now for some reason that eludes me. I don't know. Some of this stuff can be very picky, shall we say, about when it's going to show up. Well, now, you guys like to hex a friend. I mean, whatever. They're using a lot of hexes, is what I'm saying. I bet I learned some stuff from Devona back in the old pre-searing days. This path in particular I like because it avoids all of the Tengu that they were talking about, because the Tengu are very annoying. Very annoying, and I'd rather not deal with them. The Gypsy Attons are not a huge deal, though. Hey! He does have runic pants. As a reference that people who may have listened to a previous episode where I talked about that reference might get it. People who have not probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Either is fine. Major protection prayers and disciples, eh? Those both sound like they're not worth anything. Captain Greywind does teach skills. I think he was the earliest you could get Meteor Shower. And I think I remember being very excited about that on my very first character. In so much as everyone's excited about Meteor Shower on an Elementalist at the early stages of the game. When it's, you know, I mean, it stays fine throughout the game, but it's just not really worth it later on, which is a little sad. Not bad, per se. It's just outclassed by Rodgor's Invocation. Thank you, Anna Yggdrasil. I'd begin to fear that Bodris would not keep his word. He had charged us quite a sum for these medicines. I was loath to send a heavily armed group into town, lest we provoke the Lion Guard, but I was beginning to consider doing so. Truly, you have saved us from what might have been a diplomatic disaster. Unfortunately, I have little offer by way of reward except my services and teaching skills. And they said bye, because we got them where they wanted to go. Welcome to our new home. I can't help but think that it's tragic for us to have fought so hard and come so far only to land in a place like this. Ettins and Tengu assault us from all sides, not to mention those scale and imps. To make matters worse, we are lacking in all but the most basic supplies. Still, this land is bountiful, and with a lot of hard work, we should be able to prosper here. We get Final Thrust, which I'm not going to use, and Throw Dirt, which is also something I'm not currently going to use, although Throw Dirt's pretty reasonable. Blakens for the settlers. Okay, so, he says, I've arranged to open trade with Nebo Village to the west. They are renowned for their weaving, and my people here are short on many cloth goods, such as blankets. Their village has, of late, been subject to numerous predations by bandits, and while we cannot spare guards, our passage across the mountains was costly enough that we do have weapons to spare. Can you take the stash of weapons and trade them to Etham the artisan in Nebo Village? Glad to be of service. Reversing the scale. It has become clear that the Scale are being driven from their swamps by some undead menace moving in from Scoundrel's Rise to the east. Rather than slaughter endless droves of the Scale, who seem to breed as quickly as we slay them, I think it would be best to go to Scoundrel's Rise and find whatever necromantic force is driving these undead our way. Well, not merely find it, but put an end to it, right? I will grab that quest. I am not likely to be doing that anytime soon, though. I would much rather grab this quest, because I need to go to Nebo anyway. Some militia weapons. There's Farmer Dirk. His prize-winning hogs, excuse me. Oh, Farmer Dirk has a quest for us. What is this now? Well, worth doing. I recognize you. You're Anna Yggdrasil, the one who got us through the mountains. If you have the time, I sure would appreciate it if you could help me with a problem. My last prize-winning hog has run off. He was heading south, but I'm afraid to go after him with all the Ettins and those birdmen about. He might be a little skittish, so you'll probably have to chase him back here. Will you try retrieve my prize-winning hog for me? Sure. The rest of them, if I remember my lore correctly, got eaten over the mountains because they needed food, and they were there. Delicious. Delicious, delicious pork tenderloin and bacon and ham. What I'm saying is pigs are full of delicious, delicious meats. So here's our prize-winning hog. This is, as I recall, aggressively trivial. We just need to come around south of this guy. And walk it up the... Dunkoro, what are you doing to get yourself so far behind everyone? But you can see that this is not normal pig skin. This is a prize-winning hog using the warthog skin, which is a pet you could have. Obviously, mine is a rainbow phoenix, which is different from a normal phoenix. It is much bigger and more intimidating. I guess we can fight some Ettins. And just hit them for a casual 160. Okay, keep going. We will fight all of the Ettins between here and Farmer Dirk, but I want to get you back there so I can get my free skills. Keep in mind, these skills are saving me a skill point for collecting them, and a platinum. So this quest is rewarding quite a bit. Granted, not all of these skills are the best, most useful skills, but still, I like having them. Oh, yeah, I will pick up that. Ooh, 51 gold. That's semi-reasonable for around here. It's beautiful here, isn't it? Though I do miss Ascalon. I mean, you miss the Ascalon that was, not the Ascalon that is, I imagine. Ascalon that is a little bit of a piece of work, if you know what I mean. There we go. Got him back to Farmer Dirk. Thank you, Annie Yggdrasil. I'll never forget this. After losing half of my hogs in the steering and the other half being turned into bacon for the journey through those mountains, I was worried sick that I'd lose this last little guy. Thank you. Staggering Blow is not amazing. It inflicts weakness. It does have quick activation, which is actually kind of nice. But this is basically just a stronger version of it for the most part. Otyug's Cry is really an interesting skill. So you can see it gives your animal companion some additional armor and prevents it from being blocked, which is really solid. But when the game first released, it was the most joke of a skill, because what it did was it would give you all wild animals would become hostile to everything and would give them some armor. But wild animals, A, don't exist in PvP, so it's completely useless there. And B, are like all level 5, so it's also completely useless in PvE. Beyond like maybe super low level areas where even then it's dubious, like pre-searing areas. I'm talking. So it's just a completely worthless skill when it first came out. They finally changed it to be something that was not completely worthless, but I just kind of find it funny. So a little bit of a piece of trivia there for you, I guess. Anyway, I need to go down and not stay up here. I need to do. But when Nebo Terrace is just like right here. No, it's not right here. It's a little bit further. Really close. It's close. Yeah, it's up there. You can see why they would make a trade agreement with it. There's Etham the Artisan and Elder Sobel. So while we were gone, I picked up a quest from Jaiju. The Weaver of Nebo. What a trouble these Krytans are. I went out of my way, a virtual act of charity, you see, to support the poor craftsmen of Nebo village. All that I asked in return was some small quantity of linen to help me recover my expenses. I fulfilled my end of the bargain, but they repaid me with shoddy goods I cannot use and turned away the messenger I sent. I wonder if you would do me a favor and take word to Etham the Artisan. Let him know that I wish to be reasonable. Assure him that some accommodation can be reached if he only agrees to speak with me. So, we have a couple of reasons to talk to this guy here. He says, Jaiju Tai is a jackal. She lent us materials to rebuild our village after a bandit attack, but she required repayment too quickly, and each day she reckons our debt as higher than the last, so that we can never repay her. I tell you, Anna Yggdrasil, I shudder to think what her new demands will be. I will take this matter to the elders for consideration. In the meantime, perhaps you can help us by supporting our local artisans. If you have raw materials, I can craft something for you. So he can indeed craft linen, parchment, leather squares, lumps of charcoal, and steel ingots, which are all higher level crafting materials, and none of which I need right now. And then also, hey, hero, I'm Etham the Weaver. Can I interest you in some of my handmade linen? It's totally organic. What's on your mind, friend? This gypsy Etten, I believe. Blankets for the settlers. Ah, yes, I have been expecting you. I hope this is the beginning of much fruitful trade between the Ascalon settlement and our village. So we now get some settlement blanket. I don't know why that's not plural. Hey, Caleb. Okay, I have a matter that I need some discreet help with. 3 days ago in Bergen Hot Springs, 2 members of the Lion Guard were brutally slain. Initial evidence suggests that it was the work of the Shining Blade, but something strange is going on. There were 4 witnesses, but none of them would speak with me when I interviewed them. I believe that at least one of them might be willing to talk to someone who is a little less official, an outsider, so to speak. I'd be grateful if you would talk to Bergen and obtain written testimonies from the 4 witnesses. Obviously, this will get us more skills, but right now, I kind of want to just go straight on back to the Ascalonian settlement and finish up that quest. This one. This one that will give me a longbow I really legitimately don't care about. And then probably we'll head down to Bergen Hot Springs and then up towards Beetleton later. I do want Beetleton on my map. There are some skill quests that I can do there as well. You know what sounds really good right now? Pizza. I like pizza. Not everybody likes pizza, but I think a lot of people do. Okay. So just coming around the Ascalonian settlement. It changes quite a bit in the intervening years between this game and the sequel. They really do something about all these mountainy cliff things, too. But, you know. That's not surprising. Captain Greywind. I got your stuff. Acolyte Jin leveled up. Heroes get experience from quests, I believe. These blankets will be put to good use. Thank you for securing them. Yeah. As proven by cost, just leveling up from that. Okay, let's get some attribute points thrown into stuff. Marksmanship first. She also got a level at some point in time while I was not paying attention. Very recently. Which I approve of. Let's see, what elite do I have Jin running? She's Barrage right now. I'm not sure how much I want to keep her on Barrage. I kind of feel like, and this might be a bit of an odd statement, but I kind of feel like the enemies aren't just straight up clumped up enough or plentiful enough to really make Barrage 100% worth it. But I'm not sure what to put on instead at the exact moment in time. Glass arrows is probably fine. But I feel like... So everything around here is low enough level that it probably doesn't have maxed armor. So glass arrows actually is a little less appealing. As a result... I don't know. It doesn't matter too much, I suppose, one way or the other. Anyway, I didn't want to go to Bergen Hot Springs, so that's south. So we're going to go that way. Through all of these tanks. Ooh. I will absolutely take that. As you can see, the Tengu are a touch bit annoying around here. Predominantly because of Conjure Phantasm, but it looks like they have Cry of Frustration, which is, you know, strong. Fighting the Ettins, I see. Defensive stance is not something I wanted to be dealing with. Nor is Riposte, actually. Wow, that is an absolutely enormous mob of Ettins. Yeah, let's go and inject myself in the middle of this business. Like, the Ettins are just not high enough level to really be threatening to me. Obviously, they are to the Tengu. Because they're bulky and tanky for the Tengu. And out-level them by 2 to 3 levels. But I out-level the Ettins by a couple of levels. Good experience for Acolyte Jin, though. Well, that was interesting. I don't feel like I'm used to seeing mobs of Ettins like that. That was definitely unusual. There's a bunch of undead that hang out outside Bergen Hot Springs for whatever reason. G's are weird. I don't know why they can go soft in English. It's very annoying. Not a good reason for them to do that. Okay, so here we can get the testimony from a few individuals. So we have Andor de Liod. Why are you speaking with me? Away with you. What can I do to be rid of you? Hot Spring Murders. Why would I speak with someone like you? This is a Krytan matter, and I'll not speak to a foreigner about it. You can deliver that message to your Inspector Caleb if you like. Okay. I've gotten a written testimony. Daniel Smythe over there has some more testimony that I can go collecting. What the heck? I didn't see anything. I don't know anything. What do you want from me? Who sent you? I've already told Caleb that I didn't see anything or anyone. All I know is I was standing here minding my own business when I heard a shriek. I looked up and I saw the 2 line guard lying in a pool of blood. Why don't you ask that Ascalon woman if she saw anything? Because I didn't see anyone, and definitely not any. I just didn't see anything. That's all I have to say. Well, you're being defensive about it. Okay, let's go ask the Ascalonian woman over here. I was confused because this bow has -2 damage while in a stance, which is not a thing that you can normally get in weapons. Prophecies is not afraid to have some very strange weapons, is what I'm saying. I'm not afraid of these white mantle thugs. That's what they are, if you ask me. Nothing more than a pack of thugs, and no better than the char that drove us out of Ascalon. Did you need something? Hey! It's good to see a friendly face. I didn't want to speak to that inspector because I wasn't sure about speaking to a Krytan. I came to the springs to get water to take back to the settlement when I saw the 2 lion guard arguing with several of those white mantle soldiers. Things were getting pretty heated when the mantle said something about righteous judgment coming for the lion guard, just like all the other infidels. I left at that point to take care of some other business, but then later, when I heard that the lion guard were found dead, I just knew it had to be the mantle. And Layman Joseph. This is such a strange bow. Like, it's nowhere near max or anything. But if you want to make yourself useful, you should go apprehend that band of murderers who call themselves the Shining Blade. Is there something else you need? So you can see why he had some of his dialogue that he did. I'll tell you what happened, all right. It was a Shining Blade. Those murderers were trying to extort protection fees from the merchants here when the Lion Guard showed up and tried to arrest them. Those Shining Blade murderers just cut them down without thinking twice about it. That's the truth. Well, those are the 4 testimonies that we've got, but I'm not turning them in this episode because this episode has gone on long enough. So until next time, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.